Hi, Matthew Williamson back with the Monterey DUI Defense Center. On this video, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, obviously, hiring a Monterey DUI attorney and how much does it cost. We're going to be going over the factors that different attorneys look at. We're going to go over the factors that matter. First of all, things to look for. You want to get the right attorney. Are they local? Don't take their word for it. Ask them for their local address. This is essential. We've had problems with attorneys saying, oh, I'm local, but all they have is a P.O. box in the area. They get it at a UPS store and they call it a suite. We actually do the cases for Monterey. We have an office both in Monterey itself and over in Salinas, right next to the main Salinas courthouse. We don't have an office down in King City because there's not that many cases there, but we have one right next to the courthouse. We have one right in downtown Monterey. So it's essential. Can they tell you in advance which courtroom judge and prosecutor are going to be assigned and the benefits and drawbacks? If not, do not hire. The reason being is they're saying, oh, I'm local. I don't know where your case is going to be. Yeah, they do. You can tell from the last name where the case is going to be assigned normally. Sometimes it might be right on the border, but then they can say it's going to be this courtroom or this courtroom, this is the judge or this is the judge. They should be able to answer those questions for you. If they can't, there's something wrong. The exception might be, and it'll be a real common sense exception, it might be, well, Department 8 right now is having a visiting judge regularly, so I can't tell you who your judge is, but it changes. That type of statement's fine, but they should be able to tell you who the judge was last week and who they think it might be on your case. Next, have they been in the geographic area at least 10 years? We get a lot of people that come and go in Monterey. San Francisco, San Jose, they come down real fast, they don't make it, they leave. It's really hard when you have somebody who says, oh, I'm local, but ask them, how long have they been here? I'm not saying they had to grow up here, but I'm saying at least be in the area 10 years would be good so they know things. Now, things to look for, we're going to continue this. Do they have a real support staff? Someone to back them up if they're sick or out of town on vacation. I know a local husband-wife team, if they want to go on vacation, what are you going to do? We actually have backup support staff and attorneys that are on contract with us to back us up if for some reason we're stuck out of town. Sometimes I present. Believe it or not, sometimes they want me to present at different seminars. So we actually have backup people. And we actually have different attorneys that handle different cases in our office. So, next, do they have an expert to review the FSTs, that's the field sobriety tests, on staff? Or are you going to have to pay extra to have the case reviewed for you? Some attorneys brag about, oh, you're going to pay to have an expert review your case. Well, in our office, I'm actually the person that's been trained to not only give field sobriety tests, but I've been trained to train officers to give field sobriety tests. So I'm familiar with the three phases of the DUI investigation and how the officers are supposed to be trained. Anybody can learn how to give the field sobriety test. There's only a very small percentage of us out that are actually certified to train police officers and others to give the tests. And we don't charge extra for that. It's a great way to review a case to give an idea if there's any real defenses on those issues. Final note. Is the DUI attorney or staff outcome focused? We actually run, and I have for over a decade, an outcome focused practice. We talked about your goals and your outcomes. We want to figure out, can we help you meet those outcomes? This is important because we don't want to give you unrealistic expectations. We don't want to take on clients. Example, you hit a busload of nuns, you're at a .24, you puke on the officer, and you want to get off without a trial. Chances are we're not going to be able to do that for you. If that's your outcome, we're actually going to say no to taking you on as a client. So is the attorney going to be honest and upfront with you? Are they outcome focused? I can go through every single procedure and charge you for every single procedure. But if that's going to make your case very expensive. But if those procedures aren't going to get you to the outcome you want, why should we do them for you? Why should we retest the blood if we know what the parameters are going to be when the blood comes back? Let's say, though, that your outcome is you need to get off the case completely, and you're telling me your alcohol level doesn't meet what was on the final blood result. Then I'm going to say we should retest the blood and see if there's contamination or if they did the blood test wrong. But let's say you tell me, hey Matt, that 1.5 is probably a 1.5. I'm not going to charge you extra to retest the blood because it doesn't make sense. So outcome focused. What are they going to do? Are they going to do things to save you money? Now, how much does it cost? It's a hard answer. But like our office, the attorney should be able to give you quote right over the phone, not arrange an actual quote. We give you quote right over the phone. Main factors that we're looking at are this. Is it a first offense or do you have priors? We talked about this already. What are your goals? Are your goals to get completely off? Mitigate the damage. Is it to get a certain type of DUI so you can save your job? Is it an accident or a non-accident? If it is an accident, were there injuries? This is going to raise it. Let's say it can be just a standard DUI. It can go from a very basic case to you hit somebody and sent them to the hospital and there's $100,000 in medical bills. We handle these types of cases differently. We may need an accident reconstruction case in one case, but not need it in the other. Why should we charge everybody the same? That's why it's not the same cost for every case. Every case is different. Are there other charges that we're going to have to fight? Drugs, open container, pills without a prescription. Is it a refusal case? Do we have to fight the refusal? Is it a forced blood case plus a refusal case? All these add up to how many hours we expect to do on the case. One of the things we do is we do a flat fee on cases. Next, are there other mitigating or aggravating factors we have to look at? What's your actual alcohol level? Can you go a while without driving? Is your case a potential jail case? Meaning, are we going to need to fight the jail sentence or look for jail alternatives, which takes more time? These are all things we look at. All the previous factors matter. Have those answers ready for your attorney. If your attorney doesn't ask you about those, by the way, you probably or the attorney you're thinking about hiring doesn't ask you about those prior questions, you probably shouldn't hire them. Because it means they're not looking at the case. They're just saying, I'll do the case for $99. I'll do every case for $99. Really? You'll do a felony with multiple injuries for $9.99 or $6.95, the same as the school teacher that just had too much and is at a .07, .08. You're going to treat her exactly the same as you're going to treat the person who hits the busload of nuns? It doesn't make sense. Give us a call and we're going to give you a quote right over the phone. No hard sales. We're not going to try to convince you to hire us. We're not going to try to get you to come in. A lot of attorneys come on in for a free consultation. Their whole goal is to get you to the office, impress you. I can impress you with our waiting room, our brag notebook with all our thank you cards. I can do all that. But how's that help you? You need to know what it's going to cost. Can we help you? And what's your outcome? You'll find out many people that call us find out they don't need to spend the money on an attorney depending on the above factors, meaning that they can get their outcome very simply on their own. So whether you're trying to avoid going to court, you're afraid about going in front of the judge, whether you have a bad case, whether you're out of town, call us. We're going to give you specific advice right over the phone if you're looking to hire an attorney. We're not going to sell you. We're going to actually tell you what we're going to do. And that's what I think and what basically the Monterey DUI Defense Center's philosophy is this is how we handle it. So there's no surprises when you call. It's no hard sell. But have those answers ready, and we're going to go over. We're going to ask you those questions. We're going to ask you follow-up questions, and then we're going to give you a quote right over the phone. Thank you so much for your time. Remember, 831-275-0990.